Hello everybody and welcome back to the series. Welcome back to our epic quest across Europe to win the top flight division in each of the European nations in the game. We're into the final four. As you may know from the last episode, we are currently the manager of Borussia Dortmund. We locked in with the job. The previous manager of Dortmund left a third of the way through the season with Dortmund 4 points clear at the top of Bayern Munich. He left to go to RB Salzburg, one of our former sides, and we jumped at the chance to take that job here at Dortmund. Now we've made it 2/3 the way through the season, looking to complete our quickest nation yet in Germany, and we'll obviously catch up with what's happened since you were last here. And we'll start off with the transfers. There has been a couple. We've seen a few players go out. If we sort it by date order, let's have a look. Lots of loans. There's been a few loans, but we've sold Ali Abbas to Arsenal, one of our former players who we signed initially at Motherwell. He ended up at Dortmund. We became his manager yet again. We've sold him to Arsenal. You can see we've got a fee of £72 million from him. It's 58 so far, going up to 72. So we've made a nice tiny little bit of money there on him. We've also sold Sami Shevik to Dusseldorf under 19s. That's a bit of a youth player, I think, or a Borussia second daughter team. No, 17-year-old youth player. We also moved on Uche Ikwu to Barcelona for £26.5 million. Was unhappy, obviously not getting the game time for us, so we have moved him on to Barca. Again, made some money on him. We have brought some players in as well, though. Now, the first one that we brought in was one of our former players, again, of RB Salzburg and Benfica, a player that we signed for Benfica, and that is John Jairo Mosquera. I said we needed some depth up front, and Mosquera has come in. He has scored one goal in the DFB Pokal for us. We did actually spend quite a lot of money on him. Of course, we signed him at Benfica for £31 million from RB Salzburg. He has played a bit for Benfica. This was mostly while I was there, and then we've now paid £62 million for him from Benfica, which can rise to £89 million. But the board are quite pleased with the finances in the deal to involve the deal to sign Mosquera. I still think he's a very, very good player, and he's not quite at full potential yet. 24 years old, and he does offer us that squad depth up top. I then brought in Jorge Hernandez from Independiente. He is the new goalkeeper. He is 26. I did mention when we took over at Dortmund that the current goalkeeper, whose name absolutely escapes me, Tuna Usar, that's it, he's getting on a little bit. 34 years old, is declining in terms of his speed. You can see he's the blue line here. So we brought in Jorge Hernandez, who is a very good goalkeeper himself. Shot stopping's not quite there, neither is his aerial ability, but he's got better distribution. Get your words out, Dean. He's more physical and he's quicker as well, and he didn't cost us a lot, £6.75 million, which is virtually nothing for a goalkeeper of his calibre. And then we've brought in Taufik Tijani. He's basically the Ali Abbas's replacement. He did cost us £47 million from Arsenal, so we've been splashing the cash. It's something that we've not really done throughout our career, but as a wing back on support, he's pretty decent, to be honest, and I'm quite pleased with the signing of him. He was a deadline day signing. You can see that we've only just gone past that deadline, so he's yet to actually play for us. So if we a quick look at our manager overview, we now spent a total of £850 million across our career. We have recouped £1 billion though, so we are making more than we're spending throughout our career. Our highest fee spent is that £62 million for John Jairo Mosquera. Julian Frender is still our biggest in. He's still at Real Madrid. He's been there for quite some time now. Obviously, first choice goalkeeper. He's actually done really, really well for Real Madrid, and he's still a very, very good goalkeeper. He's starting to lose that physical and that speed now. But yeah, we've made it to £850 million spent, and we've broke our transfer record as well. Now, in terms of how things have gone since you were here for the games against Nuremberg and Ingolstadt. We then took on Augsburg, and it was a nice 3-1 win at home. Diaz, Bebeto and Bolognese with the goals. 25 shots, 11 on target. Very, very good performance. Disappointing to concede that one to Herzog, but we did. Bebeto got man of the match as well. We actually played quite well, and I was quite pleased with that result. But then we took on Bayern in the Champions League. We've drawn against Bayern in the Champions League, and we did lose 1-0. We lost Andre Diaz through injury in the 6th minute before Papa Dimitriou scored the only goal of the game for Bayern Munich in the 34th minute. They also missed a penalty. We never really got going in the game, and it was quite disappointing, really. Our goalkeepers picked up the man of the match. So we did lose to Bayern there, which was, like I say, disappointing. Followed that up with a defeat in the league, though, which was really, really disappointing. To Union Berlin. Bilal Chayib got both the goals for us within the space of 4 minutes, but Francesco Lopez had already opened the scoring for Union Berlin, and then Martin Batsing got 2 penalties and put them past us to condemn us to a 3-2 defeat, really. And that closed the gap at the top to just the 1 point to Bayern Munich. And I thought, oh, we're going to lose it. But we did bounce back against Schalke. 1-0 win. Stanley Aguiu, who is back from his injury now, getting the only goal of the game, despite how dominant we were. So we did remain that 1 point clear at the top. We came back from our winter break, though. And this could be the result that defines our season in the Bundesliga. And we beat Bayern Munich 3-1 at home. Ali Abbas and Giovanni Bolognese with both the goals. Filip Siljek got the goal for us, for Bayern Munich as well, an own goal. So we've scored all 4 goals in the game. We played much better against Bayern Munich than we did in the Champions League. And that extended the gap back to 4 points, which was what we wanted to see, really. Followed the Bayern game up with Bayer Leverkusen, another 2-1 win in this one. Filip Siljek and Andre Diaz put us 2-0 up inside 4 minutes. Emmanuel Alvarez got the one back for Leverkusen in the 7th minute, and that was it for the game. First 7 minutes, all the goals. But yeah, pleased to keep up the win. Hamburg were next, 2-0 at home. Aguiu and Diaz with the goals. 35 shots there from a Bayern Munich from a Borussia Dortmund point of view. And then most recently in the league, it's been Eintracht Frankfurt, a 2-0 win again. Patrick Valle with both the goals in the second half. Again, lots and lots of shots on target. We have qualified from the Champions League as well in 9th place, so we didn't quite get into the top 8, so we do have an extra game to play. We've been drawn against Celtic in that one. But in terms of the Bundesliga, it is, as things stand, it's a 1 point gap, but we do have a game in hand over Bayern Munich, and that is today's game against Hoffenheim. Bayern Munich, you can see, won 2-0 away to Nuremberg. So a win against Hoffenheim today, and we restore that 4 point lead at the top with a third of the season left to go. So we are going to get into that game because we do have 2 in today's episode. Like I say, the first one is against Hoffenheim, so hopefully we can continue our good form that we've had here. Like I say, we have locked in with this Dortmund squad in the save, already been top of the league. So the lineup is going to be Hernandez in goal, the new defender. It's going to be Jung Han as the right back for today. 33-year-old German. Contract is expiring at the end of the season, but he's still more than capable of doing a job. He's starting to lose his legs just a little bit. It's going to be Bebeto as one of the centre halves today. His central defensive partner in Caleb Gormley is currently suspended for this game. So new signing Tijani is going to start alongside him in the defence at centre back, and then left back for today is going to be Vile, Abdel Aziz Vile. Done okay for us. Matiazza, the defensive midfield on defend, very good player, Andre Matiazzo, and I'm quite pleased with him. I had to stave off Juventus during the transfer window for Matiazzo. Siljek, if I'm saying that correctly, the 31-year-old Croatian. Segundo Volante, he's also back from injury. Alongside him is Andre Diaz, very good player, fantastic player if we're being entirely honest, as a Segundo Volante. Agu as the right-sided inside forward today, has had a couple of poor games for us. He's a bit hit and miss, which we'll possibly see throughout the rest of the season. Bolognese comes in as the left-sided inside forward for today. He's 36 years old, so he's a little bit of a bit part player. You can see his legs are absolutely gone, but he's still got a great first touch, great composure, decisions, flair, vision, technique. Possibly better as an advanced playmaker, as it does in fact say there. In fact, a little bit of an experiment. I'll tell you what, we'll put him on an advanced playmaker on support on that left-hand side and see how he gets on. And then up top it is Valle, who's now made it to 21 goals in 28 starts for us. He is starting to score a few more, not as many as I'd like from a striker. But that's today's lineup, guys, so let's get into the game against Hoffenheim. And we get our first highlight in the 7th minute. Unfortunately, it's Hoffenheim with the ball. It's Cafe feeding the ball out to the left, and Keskin. It's a poor ball down the line, though, and Junghang comes across, claims that one quite nicely. It's now Bebeto. Is it Junghang or Junghang? I think he's German, isn't he? So possibly Young. But Junghang just stops, and Ficini pinches the ball there. It's Harun Yoruk through. It's a poor effort, though, from the Hoffenheim player. And you can see possibly why they're down in 9th place with a 0 goal difference so far after 22 games. Hasn't been the best start for Dortmund, though. Matiazzo does well to win the header. The ball falls to Diaz. Diaz striding forward. Good ball forward towards Valle, who's in. He's put the ball in the back of the net for his 22nd goal of the season. Made by Andre Diaz. Finished by Valle. And with 15 minutes on the clock, Dortmund take the lead in this game. Looking to make it 2. Younghan on the right-hand side with the corner finds Silic. Silic into Tajani, making his debut, of course. Matiazzo, I think, is possibly being fouled there by Keskin. The referee is going to go to the VAR check just to make sure. It did look like the ball moved away from the penalty area, but it has been awarded. I think he's gone through the back. He says he was a little bit too forceful against Matiazzo there in the commentary. It's going to be the number 9, Valle, to step up. He scored a couple of penalties for us this season, some big ones, and he scores another one in the 20th minute. Patrick Valle, with his 23rd of the season now, gives the lead, doubles lead to 2-0 for Borussia Dortmund, and that does obviously now remain that gap at the top of the table to 4 points. And we're looking to extend our lead again. It's Junghang. It's a poor throwing down the line, didn't pick a teammate out, and it's Hoffenheim with the ball. It's Cafe finding Harun Yoruk on the right hand side. Does get the ball into the box towards, I think he said Vazquez, but Hernandez showed good hands in holding on to the ball there. And comfortable, really, for the debutant in goal. And Boyo for Hoffenheim finds Weiss. We've cut that out well, though, and it's Agu finding Younghan. Back to Tajani on his debut as well. Feeds the ball in towards Diaz. Diaz takes it past 2 players. It comes out wide to the left, and Bolognese, of course, in that experimental role that we're playing there with the advanced playmaker. It's Vail. Now Tajani again into Matiazzo. Matiazzo with a chip ball over the top towards Valle for his hat-trick, and he gets it. There's a VAR check again, though. I'm not sure why, because Valle was... I don't think he was ever in an offside position throughout that move. It's probably going to prove me wrong now. No, it has been awarded. That was a bit of a waste of a VAR check. If we watch Valle here, the number 9, there's absolutely no question of an offside there whatsoever. So why we needed the VAR check for that. I know I go on about this all the time, guys, but it boils my blood, really, the amount of VAR checks that there are in FM23. But we come into half-time, 3-0 up, Patrick Valle with the hat-trick. We've made a change at half-time. We've brought Valle off after his excellent first-half hat-trick. We've brought Mosquera on. As Bolognese went close with that free kick there. Good save by the goalkeeper, but he comes across to take the resulting corner. It's towards that near post. It's headed clear by the defender, only as far back as Bolognese, who's tackled by Cafe. Bolognese does well to hold on to the ball here. Finds Diaz inside. He's tackled well by Valaquez, though. And Hoffenheim do manage to get the ball away. And they're coming forward now with Harun Yoruk, who's looked their most dangerous player, I have to say. He's inside the penalty area now. Cuts across. The cross is deflected up, and Tajani clears it. Only as far as Bolognese, though, we've given it away. We've dilly-dallied on the ball. We've still managed to come out and turn this into attacking opportunity, but Bolognese's pass is absolutely shocking. And the ball's ended up with Harun Yoruk and Diaz, who I think is a fantastic player. Diaz steps across and cuts that ball out. And again, we're coming with Tajani. Tajani feeding it to the right-hand side, and Agu. Matiazzo over the top, looking for Diaz. Got Mosquera in the middle, looking for his first league goal for the club. Comes back to Vail instead. Vail with the effort. I'm not entirely sure what the goalkeeper did there. Did he drop it? I think he dropped it, and it fell at the feet of Bolognese there. Was Bolognese onside, though? Indeed he was. I think the goalkeeper's had an absolute howler there, and dropped the ball. Vail has the effort. It's not a great one. The goalkeeper he's dropped it. He's dropped it, and Bolognese's put it in the back of the net. And that's the way it stayed till full time, guys. Comfortable 4-0 win in the end for Borussia Dortmund. Patrick Valle with the first half hat-trick. Mosquera didn't really do anything when he came on. I think he's still settling into Germany. He has been here before on loan at Freiburg, but he didn't play particularly well. But I think there's a decent striker in the Colombian there. And like I say, he is a backup to Valle as things stand. That squad depth, which is something I identified when we first took over at Bayern Munich. I keep saying Bayern Munich. Borussia Dortmund. We were lacking a little bit of depth in the striker position. But after that nice, comfortable 4-0 win against Hoffenheim, you can see that we do restore our 4-point lead at the top of the table over Bayern Munich, who do have a slightly better goal difference than us, which is a little bit cause for concern in case it comes down to that at the end of the season. So we do have one more game in today's episode. It is against Gladbach. It is away from home. I do have the first leg against Celtic in between that though, guys. So I'm going to go and play that game now. Hopefully we can get a result against Celtic before we take it on Gladbach. Is it Borussia Mönchengladbach? It is indeed Borussia Mönchengladbach. So I will catch up with you guys again in just a minute. Right guys, welcome back. You can see we did pick up a narrow 1-0 victory over Celtic at their new stadium. You may notice the attendance of 101,000 people in attendance at the Aidan Smith Park. Aidan Smith is one of their legends as a manager. Retired as a player at 36 of Nottingham Forest. Aidan Smith, 101,500 people. That is a lot of people to be in one place at a time. But we did pick up that 1-0 win away from home, so we're in the driving seat for that second leg now. But today we do have Borussia Mönchengladbach to take on. Bayern Munich haven't played. I think they play the day after as they do. They're at home to Ingolstadt, who are in 13th place. You'd expect Bayern to win there, so we do need to pick up this win away to Mönchengladbach to obviously keep that pressure on Bayern at the top of the table. And it is pretty much the same lineup as the last game. The only change is Gormley comes in at centre half, Tajani moves over to the right hand side, and Younghang moves back on to the bench. We are a little bit tired after that midweek game, but it is the same lineup. And with just about 10 minutes on the clock, it is Borussia Mönchengladbach coming forward. They've actually scored. Harun Aslan has he's got his first goal of the season inside 10 minutes against Dortmund here. And that is not the start that we wanted. Of course, I've lost a game like this previously against Union Berlin, which was highly disappointing. We do have now to come from behind against Gladbach, otherwise we could potentially see Bayern draw into just the 1 point behind us, which of course is not what we want. It would really be pressure on then to stay ahead of Bayern coming into the final third of the season. And we're not really making much impression here on Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's a fairly even game. We are having slightly more shots, but nothing of real note so far. And it's right on the stroke of half time now. Finally we get a highlight with Borussia Dortmund with a foot on the ball. It's Matiazzo playing it towards Valle, who's had to come deep to get the ball, but he's give it away to Mai. Mai now, nice little interchange there between the players, and they're in goal again. Hernandez has gone to ground early, and we're 2-0 behind here. Jorge Martino gets the goal for Gladbach right on the stroke of half time, and that is disappointing. It's really good play by the Gladbach players. Hernandez gone far too early to ground. Bebeto can't get anything in the way, and it's a good finish from the Gladbach player, and we find ourselves 2-0 down at half time here. This is not in the script. I need to shout at the boys, tell them to get their acts together. Andre Diaz, who has probably been my best player this season, along with Matiazzo, both on 6.3s. Valle's on a 6.4 at top as well, which is not good enough. So we need a big second half here to at least get a point. I think we need at least a point. Whether we're going to do it or not is a completely different matter. And it's Gladbach with the first highlight of the second half. It's a corner which Hernandez makes a great save this time. But we are past the hour mark. We've got 25 minutes remaining in this game, and we are yet to make an impression on the Gladbach goal. Hernandez goes long. We don't win that in the air though. We give it straight back to Gladbach, and they're looking to come forward again. It's Rutten with the ball to the left hand side into the score of the second goal in Montano. They've switched the play quite nicely there. Weil and Hernandez both go for the same ball, and it ends up at the feet of the Gladbach player again. They do get the ball into the box. It's another header. They've hit the outside of the post, and Gladbach are absolutely all over Dortmund here. The defending champions, remember, and the champions possibly elect. We're getting we're getting thumped here. You can see by the shots in the top left corner. And with 10 minutes of this game remaining, Vale's having a poor one. Diaz is, Mateazzo's on a 6.1. Let's get Martins in. Diaz is on a 6.1. Let's get Savings in. Valle, you can come off. Mosquera can come on. The wingers aren't really doing it. Bolognese, you can come off for Chaib, and we'll switch you back to an inside forward. Inverted winger. We'll go for inverted winger with Chaib. I think we're tired. I think that's the big issue, guys. But we'll make those 4 changes. I know there's only 10 minutes left, and I've left it probably a little bit too late to get anything out of this game. But we're not having a good time here, and it is still Gladbach, the team coming forward. Hernandez claims that one well, though. Can we go and get at least one and give us some hope in this game? Hernandez goes long again. We need to win this in the air. We don't know, but we do get the second ball with Silic. It's now Agu's tackled well by Montano. And Gladbach come away with the ball again. They clipped it over the top. That's easy for Gormley, though, the Northern Irishman. Gives it straight back to them. Yeah, just there you go, son. We're losing 2-0. Have the ball. We do win it back in midfield, though. Thankfully, for now. Tajani on the right-hand side. Needs some movement ahead of him. He's forced back instead to Bebeto. Into Silic. Now Martins. Martins with the ball over the top towards Mosquera. The chance to get your first league goal. Straight to the goalkeeper. Straight to the goalkeeper. We're struggling in this game. We are struggling. It's Mosquera into Chaib. This is an opportunity for Chaib. What on earth was that? We've left it to the last 10 minutes to get all of our highlights in this game, guys, by the way. And we're still doing that really, really badly. We're just giving the ball away again. Have won it back through Martins. Now Silic into Chaib. Can he hit the target this time? He does. Bilal Chaib gets his 10th of the season in the 89th minute. Possibility to rescue a point here if we get the ball back off Gladbach quickly. It's not going to happen, though. It could happen. Could happen. Simone with the ball for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Bring the ball forward. Finds Adden on the left-hand side. Ball forward into Ferrara. The ball's at the wrong end of the pitch from Dortmund point of view. It's inside the area. Tajani's made the tackle. Ferrara gets the ball back, though. Has the effort. It's deflected. And Jerome Mai makes it 3-0 to Gladbach. And we've been well beaten in this game, guys. We've absolutely been spanked by Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we thoroughly deserve this defeat. We just didn't get going at all, and that has put the ball back into Bayern Munich's court, unfortunately. Now, of course, Bayern Munich do play on the Sunday, so I'm going to go forward to that Sunday and see just how bad that result against Borussia Mönchengladbach is for us. Are Bayern going to lose to Ingolstadt? That would do us a favour and would maintain that 4 points, or are Bayern going to close it back down to the single point? We'll find out. Right, it's Sunday. It's Bayern against Ingolstadt. It's a 5:30 kickoff, so I'm not quite there yet. I'll keep clicking continue or mashing my space bar. Hopefully we get there. You can see as well just how long it takes for things to load these days, guys. Between December the 31st and January the 7th, probably takes me about 2 hours to go through. Bayern Munich won 3-0 against Ingolstadt. The gap is 1 point, guys, with 11 games remaining. Now that's a little bit nervous now. We don't have Bayern to play either. Hopefully we get a decent run in, though. A lot of these teams look down at 17th, 16th, 13th, 18th, 12th. Of course, Union beat us last time. Schalke could be the difficult one. We've also got RB Leipzig in there in third place. It's at home, though, which that yellow wall could help us out massively. So that is a disappointing episode, really. Losing 3-1 to Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's allowed Bayern to get that gap down to 1 point at the top of the table, which from our point of view is disappointing. Hopefully we can get it across the line as quick as we can, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the next episode, guys. But as for now, thank you very much for watching. Bit of a downer of an episode. I don't get this third kit and home kit, by the way. I thought they were supposed to look different. Yeah, that's just the thing. Yeah, a bit of a disappointment, guys, to end the episode in that way. But we will come back at the end of the season and see if we can maintain that gap at the top of the league that we've got to Bayern Munich. You can see we're £55 million in debt there in the bottom left corner as well, which is not great. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode. So cheers, guys. See you later.